Hi, so I'm Bryan Bradley. Over the summer I did detection of cyberbullying and SMS messaging. So what is cyberbullying? The definition of cyberbullying is the act of harassing someone online by sending or posting mean messages, usually anonymously. This can be really any bullying over any electronic device, text message, posting on Facebook wall, anonymous Twitter, anything like that. And so what SMS means is short message service, and this is just a typical text message between any two phones. So my objectives this summer were to automatically detect and sort messages into conversations, and then the second part was to detect cyberbullying in the messages and conversations. So we used real-world data. We had 11 participants between the ages of 10 and 14, and this was actually going on before my research started, so by the time I got to it, there was 80,000 text messages to go through. And this is sort of what it looked like. And at the phone number on the left, the message, a timestamp, and then what I manually sorted as to what's a conversation. So this is the process for my algorithm to find conversations. First, I divided the 80,000 data set into 1,000 message subsets. So the first step was to sort all the messages based off time. So if two messages were sent within a time period, they'd be clumped together into a conversation. And then that worked for some of them, but the problem was if two different people were sending two different text messages at the same time, they'd still be clumped together. So I checked the sender and receiver for each message and break those off into conversations also. And then just to narrow it down, I messed with the threshold of the time in between messages, and I found that the optimal time was 140 minutes between messages. So this is my algorithm for actually detecting cyberbullying. First was to break the message into each individual word and store those. And then I had a dictionary of bully words, and I would run each word through that dictionary, and if it matched, the message would gain a point. And then once it went through the whole message, the message would have a total score, and if that reached a certain threshold, then it would be labeled as cyberbullying. And then the conversation, each message in a conversation would be totaled together, and that would create the conversation threshold. So this is my process for actually getting the dictionary of cyberbullying words. At first, there was a dictionary that previous research has used, and I had really high precision and low recall, which I'll talk about what those mean in a minute. But then about halfway through, I made my own bully dictionary. I got high precision and about medium recall. So these are the metrics I used to score whether it was cyberbullying or not. So I use precision and recall, and that's made up of true positives, and false negatives. So if you look at the big square, those are all the text messages. I was using my subsets, and the circle is the messages that that were actually detected. So true positives were messages that I detected as cyberbullying, and that actually were, and false positives were messages I detected, but that weren't actually cyberbullying. And then the ones I did detect, a false negative would be something that was cyberbullying, but my algorithm didn't detect, and a true negative was something that wasn't cyberbullying and something I didn't detect. So precision is just out of all the messages I detected, how many were true positives, so how many I got right. And then recall was out of all the messages, how many were actually detected. So these are my results for putting messages into conversations. By the end, I was able to get a precision of at least 95% on each set, and a recall of at least 83. I used 4 different subsets of about 1,000 messages each, and this is the chart for what I got for each one. So cyberbullying, I didn't get through as well. I got precision of about 90%, which means the ones I did detect, almost all of them were cyberbullying, but I got a recall of 50%, which means that I didn't get all of the messages that I should have gotten. And then that was with the first the dictionary that was already created. And then when I used my own dictionary, I got a 62% recall and 55% precision, which doesn't sound as good, but I'm getting a higher recall, which means I'm detecting more of them, even though I'm getting more false positives. And on the graph, the two on the left are with the previous dictionary, and the two on the right are with the dictionary that I created. So in conclusion, I got pretty good results for the time that I was doing. I got a high precision but low recall, so the ones that I were detecting were right, but I wasn't able to detect all of them. So for future work, I also want to detect on a conversation level, so not just if one message is cyberbullying, but if the whole conversation contains cyberbullying. And a way that I can better improve my scores is by clustering, which I'm basically going to add more attributes. So instead of just a bully dictionary, I can also use pronouns. I can go off the day of the week, the time of the day, and if Mondays are more likely to be days where people cyberbullying, that would be another point, and that'll all add up. And I would just like to acknowledge Dr. Komstathis, who I guess is Dr. Edwards now, Serena, who was with me during the summer program, Ursinus College, and NSF Foundation for helping with the grant. Thanks.